about a diarrhea tornado.
And we're back. Yay!
Fucking did it.
Fucking in rehearsal, Space Invaders again. Back
Yes.
with Jeff and Duck here for their movie that
Hell
they're
yeah.
putting
Movie
out.
talking. Hell
Movie
yeah.
talk.
Amityvillenado.
Yes,
Stoked to be here,
Amityvillenado.
guys.
There we go. Hell yeah. Yeah, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yes. So when is the movie, is it premiering or screening soon around?
It is premiering. The premiere is 6 days away, so Duck and
Okay.
I are both kind of vibrating in our shoes right now. Just
Nice.
like, yeah, it feels super real and it's pretty nerve-wracking, but we've been working a long time to get here, and yeah, man, we
2 years.
2 years.
I was about
2
to
years
ask how
get
long
here.
has it been?
Fucking years.
2 years, and we just this past weekend we were over at the Broad Theater doing our test screening. So for the first time in the 2 year process, we
Seeing
got to
it
see
on the
it
big-
on the big screen.
It's legit.
Yeah.
It's good.
How was
Yeah,
that?
Big day.
It was awesome, but that's when it like became real for me. and I
Oh
was
shit!
like,
right? Yeah.
fuck.
Oh, this is a movie.
Have you
This is a
ever
movie.
have you
We're
ever had
showing-
anything like that that you've done played on a big screen before?
I haven't.
I have, yeah.
Very cool.
Yep.
All right, I'm sorry. Keep going with your movie, but I want to ask about how you
Yeah,
got
we're
that
gonna talk.
again.
Yes.
So the premiere's happening on the 12th.
This is scary.
This is insane. This is insane.
No,
Why
I
is this
do.
fucking happening?
We should acknowledge for everyone listening that
Yeah.
there is essentially alien abduction music
Yeah.
happening
Yeah.
next
Yeah.
door,
Like if we just like chill for a second, you can hear it.
kind of shaking the whole room. Of course, it quiets down right as soon as we go
Yeah.
to
Hey,
acknowledge.
look at that.
Why
Oh,
fucking
not
wouldn't
there.
it? Why
but,
wouldn't it?
but for us, it does kind of feel like a brain-eating amoeba
It's
or
insane.
something like
it's,
that. Yeah.
It's driving me insane.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Oh my god. But yes, the movie.
movie. Ah!
I really actually did get distracted for a second.
I know. It's fucking with me. I'm
Wow.
very foggy brained anyway, so yeah, it's
Insane.
fucking. It's getting in there.
That's
The
okay.
wormhole
You are
in it.
now in the headspace of a filmmaker.
There we go.
Yeah, that's how it
That'll
feels
work. That'll
all
work.
the time.
Just this.
Sleepless nights, you just hear just ambient tracks in your sleep
Mm-hmm.
at all hours of the day.
Well, you were having. Jeff was actually having dreams.
Oh, this is good. Yeah, actually, I go. Duck comes over to my house the other day, right before we're going over to the Broad to do the test screening, and for the last like 2 or 3 days, I'd been having what I would call nightmares.
Oh shit.
About the screening. For whatever reason, in the first I woke up. It was one of those dreams where like you wake up and it's really early in the morning, but you're in like the thick of the dream, and so you can kind of fall back asleep a little bit,
Yeah.
and control it a
Mhm.
bit. But it
Yes.
was
Yeah.
we're screening at the Broad, and I had dreamt that like I was there. The screening starts at 7. Nobody else had showed up yet, and I go into the Broad Theater, and for whatever reason, they've decided to store all their Christmas decorations in there. Like they've taken them all down for the year.
What?
And the room where we're screening the movie, they've got all the chairs are like filled with wreaths and ornaments and shit. And so I start freaking out because we gotta move
Where are
on
we
this.
gonna
Where's
put these
everyone gonna
people?
sit? And I call Duck because I'm like freaking out about it, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm still printing posters." I'm like, "Duck, we don't need to print posters right now. We need to get to the theater. What are you doing?" And then
Start fucking moving these ornaments out, man.
yeah, I get a phone call from one of our lead actors, and her flight is delayed, and it's like she lives in town. She does.
Why
There's
would
no
she fly?
reason why
Why
she
would
should
she
be
fly?
flying. And then I got to the point where I could like wake up, right? And I went back into the dream, and I decided I was like, I'm just gonna leave the theater, and so I exit the theater, and I end up in this mall. There's
Yeah.
all this chaos happening in the mall, which it's not connected to a mall. Dream logic, right?
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
yeah. So that was fun, and I woke up just like freaking out and panicked.
Yeah. That's
yeah.
funny about the dream thing, because that does happen with me, but it always seems to happen like that, where you get stuck in a loop and then you wake up out of it, but you can go back in. You're like, I still remember it now. I control it.
Yeah, but you only have minor control. I only
It's
had
very
of
little,
control to be
yeah.
like, I'm just gonna leave this.
I'm getting
room.
out of this
Yeah.
loop. Yeah, yeah.
And I ended up in a worse place.
The mall.
I'm
a dying mall.
I'm naked in high school.
Yeah.
No. Hell yeah. Sorry, I need more.
So this isn't your first movie that you've done.
This is not my first feature that I've done. So actually, this time last year, I premiered a movie in Hoboken, New Jersey. It was a sports comedy, and then the year before that, premiered another horror film.
Nice.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
Nice.
And Duck, this is your first film?
Yeah, so me and Jeff were friends, and then ever since I was a little kid, I was like always wanted to make a horror movie.
Yeah.
And so like I always would talk about it to Clay, like I'm gonna make a movie someday. And then one day I was just like, Jeff, I want to make a movie. Can you help me? Because he knows what he's doing. well, now I know some stuff. But he was
Give
like,
yourself
sure,
credit.
yeah,
You know a lot now.
Right.
You know a
to
lot
help
now.
you. I do. I know a lot now because of him.
Right. Yeah.
So he's been taking me under his wing, and it's just been an incredible journey, man.
It
I
has,
appreciate him
but-
so
Hell
much.
yeah.
And I appreciate
yeah.
you, brother. No, Duck and I started hanging out on the set of a Joystick video, and I had just like come to hang out that day and ended up shooting the video. And I did not know Duck before I arrived.
Right.
I'd seen Duck around like at other shows and stuff, and I knew who he was, but like we'd never had a conversation or anything.
Right.
And so, shooting that video, I kind of weaseled because our mutual friend Clay, the bass player in Joystick, Clay and I used to play in a band together, and so I kind of weaseled my way in. I was like, "Hey Clay, like, I'd really love to like shoot your guys' next video for you for free if you just like let me do whatever the fuck I want."
Right.
And they talked about it, and they're like, "Cool, yeah." And so we start shooting that video, and I did not know like Duck had always wanted to make movies, and I didn't know what his interests were outside of ska music, right?
Yeah.
And so like every time we're setting up for a shot or working on something, Duck's coming up and like asking questions about it, and I've learned very quickly like he was super interested in like making movies and how shit cut together and everything.
Yeah.
So we just started going to like horror movies and stuff together, and we had like a mutual love for like low budget shit, like found footage stuff. People who come together and make a scrappy movie for $1,000, right?
Yeah. A lot of trauma stuff.
Yeah. And so, but that was how our friendship kind of started, and then the movie took it to a whole different level
right.
because it's like being in a band, as Duck has said many times. Like
yeah.
it really is.
I mean, a 2-year commitment, that's insane, you
Yeah.
know? And then for essentially one final product,
Yeah.
Yeah. You're not...
It's actually not that bad. I know a few people have been making the same movie for 5 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah,
like,
you could-
It's just a bunch
Yeah,
of people
shit.
are involved.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people with jobs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then just they've been done with the movie for a long time now, and they've just been trying to edit and trying to,
Right.
put music together. So I've never done it, but it seems like it'd be hard.
I'll go check the camera real quick just to be sure.
Okay. Just the camera.
About it. Well, I can see what that's doing. It's going.
Why the Amityville?
I like the Amityville movies since I was a little kid.
Yeah, I remember you talking about it a little bit. You have a podcast with it as well. Yeah. Does that involve you, Jeff? Or
No. That's all Duck. Yeah.
Okay.
I hope to be on it at some point in time, but that's all Duck. I do listen to every episode though.
Oh,
it's a
very
fun show.
cool. Very
Yeah,
cool.
I love the Amityville movies, and I was like, how is there not an Amityvillenado movie? I love, I grew up in the 90s watching, like, Dante's Peak and, like...
Oh, God, yeah.
Volcano.
Right.
And what was the...
Volcano,
like, the
Tommy Lee
core.
Jones. Everything was,
Yeah.
like apocalyptic
Yeah,
shit
yeah.
happening.
And
Fucking, Twister, everything.
I love that shit.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
so,
I fucked with those. Yeah.
I just love smashing two different...
Right?
Even with, like, music, any, like, two opposite types of art and smash them together and, like... It's cool.
Make it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So is it, did you guys cast people? Was it friends of yours? How's that work out?
A
Like,
little
you
bit
hold,
of
like-
both.
yeah?
So
Okay.
like one of Duck's best friends ended up being one of the two leads, and one of my best friends ended up being one of the two leads.
Nice.
And they are kind of the guys that drive the whole movie.
Okay.
Yeah. So it revolves around kind of 4 interweaving plots. Clay, the bass player of Joystick, and our mutual friend, he's one of the other actors in the movie. And so that's funny because, Clay had been talking about it for a long time too, because Clay was like, yeah, Duck always asked me to be in his movie, but he's never told me what the movie is. So finally, we get the movie, and Clay's one of the first people to get cast. And then the movie grew a ton after we started shooting. And
you guys wrote everything, or
Yes.
was it
Yep.
more people involved, or just you two?
Just us two.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Script, everything. Huh?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
nice. Yeah.
And so as it got bigger, we just started throwing out a net. One
okay.
of the only real casting we did, we shot part of the movie at Dillard University.
Okay.
And so
That's a nice campus.
it really
Yeah,
is.
it
And
is.
we
Yeah, it
we
is.
were in need of a news station. And so our buddy Waffle hooked us up. He works for a company called Video Aces here in town, so shout out to them.
There you go.
He's a good friend, and he hooked us up with this guy at Dillard University named Keith Allen Morris, and he's a film instructor there. And we were totally thinking, we're like, we just need something we can like make look like a news station. It doesn't have to be a news station.
We can make it.
And they
happen.
take us to tour their campus, and they've got like a legit news station. And so one of the stipulations for being able to shoot there for free was we had to like utilize their students as cast and crew. So we ended up casting from their students.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And that was
a very cool trade-off.
It was cool.
Right.
And
oh, cool! I get a bunch of actors as well.
That's what I'm
Thank you.
saying.
Yeah.
Like, are you kidding me? Yeah.
Yeah,
and then they get some credits. You know.
Yeah, and they were all super cool and like eager to learn. And like we had a first assistant director who was with us on those Dillard days that she was like just so like can't wait to see her again. Just like was so enthusiastic about our dumb horror comedy movie, right? And
she just rapped on her first
and she just
movie.
rapped on her first movie too. So it's like,
Okay.
yeah, those kids are ambitious and stuff, and it was cool working with them. But that was the only like actual like getting headshots and people auditioning for roles that we had.
Right. Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah, everyone else was kind of like we knew somebody or somebody knew somebody who recommended them.
Was it
for
a big
role.
cast?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shit,
I think there's like 42 people in the movie.
Jesus,
Yeah.
huh?
Yeah. It's a big movie. Like it goes places, man.
Right.
It's it unfolds. Like the characters really take you places.
Nice.
It's
I
not,
like that.
Yeah. It's not stagnant at all. You see a lot. It's called Amityvillenado. It takes place in the town of Amityville, and you see the citizens. You know?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Did you storyboard out the whole movie and everything?
Not the whole movie, but some key scenes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot. I mean, most of the movie was just shot like on weekends and stuff.
Yeah.
When people had off work, and a lot of those, like we would show up and we were all dead tired because we would be trying to shoot like 3 days back to back. Because it's like, look, we got Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday. So we'd shoot Friday night, cut stuff together, show up the next day dead tired, and kind of just wing it for some of those days because there's no time to like kind of really prep because we were literally writing as we were going.
Right. Yeah.
But then there were some big scenes where we had like, let's say, a month off of shooting, and it was like we have to get this right, and we've got one chance. The newsroom stuff was one of it because it's like we literally had 2 days there,
and then that's it. Yeah.
The option they gave us was like, look, you can either shoot in 5 days or in 2.5 months when we get back from summer break. And we're like, well, we need to shoot in 5 days.
It's gonna be that one.
Yeah.
We should tell them the story of how. So Waffle our friend Waffle like introduced us there. So like,
Yes.
Jeff went to go talk to, what's his name again?
Keith.
Keith. There. And do you want to tell the story? You're going to tell it way better.
Wait, hold on
sure.
one
This
second.
shit just cracks me up.
Did it fucking stop?
I think he
Yes.
did.
I
Yeah,
think it
I
did.
wasn't going to acknowledge it.
No,
because
I
I know.
my brain
fucked
was
it up.
fine.
I fucked it up. It
Anything.
was so droning. It was so much. It's
I
like,
couldn't
yeah.
focus.
I know. Okay. All right. Sorry. Yes. The story. Yes.
No, yeah. So we were, trying to just get on this guy's radar to maybe be able to use their space, right? Like there was no guarantee that this was going to work out.
Right.
Our buddy Waffle was like, "Hey, here's this guy's number. Reach out to him." And so we went to Dillard and caught up with this guy. He had us wait in his office for a little bit, and he's a professor, right? So he's like got a lot on his mind, talking to students and everything.
Course,
so finally he makes his way back into the office, and he's kind of tinkering away on his laptop a little bit behind his desk, and he's like, "All right, so what are you guys here for? Like, what's
Wait,
the
what is this?
what's
What
the
is
project? Yeah, what's it called? It's called Amityvillenado. Okay.
Oh, okay.
No.
Yeah.
Right.
No.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
It's not.
And so,
Right.
do you have anything you could show me? And so we pulled up what at that point in time was one of our most intense scenes. We're like, this is the promise of premise, right?
Okay.
You pay to see a movie called Amityvillenado. We showed him
This is the
an
thing.
Amityvillenado,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And so he watched about 10 seconds of it, paused it, and said, "Come with me."
Yep. You're good.
Yeah, and so and that
Checks out.
and that was
Checks
cool.
out.
Yeah, that was cool because it was like a little bit of validation too, where like
Right.
we'd been working really hard and we totally like full
Outside eyes
disclosure,
on it.
and I don't think this is spoiling anything, right? But like we had no money to make this movie. Like you got to pay off the effects and everything. We were using leaf blowers, right?
Right, yeah,
That's
yeah.
how we were doing
Yeah.
everything. Like I kid you not, 2 leaf blowers. That's how we made the movie.
Hell yeah.
And it looks
I like that.
really great.
It does
and
look good,
It
yeah.
looks really good.
Wait,
And
were they
like
stills?
we're proud of
Were
it.
Stills.
We could show you guys some stuff afterwards.
Oh
we'll
no.
show you, we'll
the
show you
leaf blower. STIHL.
Oh no.
The fucking heavy duty.
Sorry, yeah, I said so.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking
Nice.
No, but I was
too.
actually
Nice.
I was doing yard work with my dad over Christmas, and he's got a gas powered leaf blower. I was like, we need one of these on the next.
That's
one.
what you need.
Oh, you're doing
Backpack,
electric?
bitch. Yeah.
But no, he like
Oh, that
waved
makes
us.
sense.
He waved us forward and was like, "Come check this out. You can use this. You can use this. You can use this." I was like, "Dude's giving us like the whole
Right?
lay of the land here." So yeah, that was cool, and that was gratifying to see. At least like, we'd made the low budget work for us,
Yeah.
right? Like we used what we had, but we still tried to show it somewhat artfully, right?
Yeah.
So like and it worked.
Think of all the money.
Yeah,
you,
but then do you mind if I tell this?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Please.
So then how did it work? He basically was like, "So how much money do y'all have, or something like
Yeah.
that?"
like zero.
Yeah.
He was like, our going rate is $2,000 a day.
Oh, yeah, I bet it is.
And I'm just sitting there like,
Interesting.
okay, could you do zero?
Yeah. Could that be a thing here?
I was like, we
That's
got
my
nothing.
favorite part.
Yeah, but then he had us pitch the movie to the class.
Okay.
He was like, all right, you guys will be up in 20 minutes. Class starts. He's
shit.
like, what do you mean up? He's
Yeah,
like,
what
You're
is
gonna
that?
pitch the movie.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was that was a fun experience though, getting to shoot at that school, because that was also, I mean, I think this is like just somewhat important to the like history of how we made the movie. That was the only day where we had like a full on crew. Those 2 days at the school. Literally every single other day, we had a day here, a day there, where somebody else would like jump into like, hey, I can help out for a couple of hours or whatever. But it was just me, Duck, and Clay.
Did
Yeah.
you
Make a
do
movie.
your exterior shots at the school as well?
No. The exterior shot of the news station. What's that building called? In
Oh, the
Elmwood?
Zenny building in Elmwood.
Yeah.
Where you go, like, get your marriage certificate.
Oh,
You go
okay.
to vote
Okay.
and shit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so I feel like we were creative with our exteriors for a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that was a cool experience having a crew those days, right?
Yeah, right.
So yeah.
Yeah, because
With
the rest of the time we
also
were having,
like, yeah, I was gonna say actually looking like legit
Yeah,
professional.
yeah.
I was like, no, man, like we're
We'd have,
primo.
like,
Don't
actors
worry.
This is
holding
Amityvillenado, okay?
Right?
Why
Like,
don't
who
you-
the fuck you're talking to
This
right
is
now?
Amityvillenado, act like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So not everything was done in those 5 days then, huh?
No. We shot.
Of course, I know editing wasn't, of course, but like
Yeah. Well, do you want to tell the story about Snowballed
Oh,
Snowball.
from 3 days,
3 days.
the
Well-
weekend shoot?
Well, yeah, originally we were. So I'd never shot anything before. So I was like, and I'm super into like Mark Poloni. I'm into like movies that cost like $300, shot in 2 days type of thing. I like that kind of stuff. So I was like, yeah, we're just going to shoot Amityvillenado in 3 days. Let's go. We got it. Let's go. And yeah, no.
no,
It's
it didn't work.
Snowballed.
that-
2 years.
Were you thinking originally of a lower budget type, lower
Yeah,
looking
run
budget?
and gun. Yeah.
Right.
Run
Yeah.
and gun. Like,
Duck was, so it took a while. Duck and I butt heads just for a little bit on the project in terms of like the size and scope of the movie, because Duck wanted to make it in 3 days for $300, and I was like, we can do it still for very cheap, but we're all having so much fun. And so it kind of snowballed, and we went through a little bit of growing pains, but then finally figured out our rhythm, and we were like, we've got something really good
Yeah,
on
now
our
it's
hands.
gelling.
We all went
Yeah.
all in. But
Yeah.
but yeah, we shot for 50 days.
Right.
Yeah, and granted, some of those days are like we showed up to one of our friends. They run a like little boutique hotel. So like one of those days was like we showed up for an hour to shoot a TV spot that shows up on TV like in a
Right,
scene.
yeah,
right.
yeah,
So
yeah.
not all of 50 days. 50 of those days are like 12, 16-hour days, but we did spend some pretty chunky.
Yeah.
Have some chunky days.
I
Where
would
we're like,
imagine too.
yeah.
I mean, if you're only getting it when you can get, the time for people off. I was wondering that earlier if it was trouble getting like continuity when you're doing outside scenes, or like these have to be done at this time of day.
Yeah.
As if there was anything like that.
Also, if
well,
the-
Jeff is very, very good at lighting.
Yeah.
So
I thought you were about to say picky.
no, you're very good at lighting.
that makes you good at
I
lighting.
really
He's
thought you were-
great at lighting.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, and we had like a makeup person too.
Yeah.
who was good at like making sure people's hair look the same it did a year and a half ago.
That's
You know?
awesome.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask. How far apart were the shots?
Oh, right.
Like if you're talking about starting 5 days with how many students you had, then you're doing the other 45 days with like a smaller crew, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Much smaller crew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's the question?
My question was, what's that?
I got lost.
I was originally asking like how you were gonna keep the continuity over a 2-year process. Like how far apart was the filming?
Oh, that was December 2022
Okay.
to March of 2023.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then
or April of 2023.
Right, so not big long spans. Too
Yeah.
much of it.
No,
yeah.
it wasn't. That's correct, right? Isn't it?
I think so.
nobody had to
'Cause-
grow a mustache back or anything like
Oh,
that.
Duck and I did.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, we played some cops in the movie.
Oh
Nice.
God, that's awesome.
Nice. I
And
like
our,
that.
our lead actor was we had been shooting for probably a year and a half at this point, and his wedding was coming up in like a month, and he was like, "Dude, guys, I really have to have a haircut for my wedding, guys. I can't."
He was such a trooper, though. He was such a trooper because he had like kept his beard and everything. And we were at the spot too, and this is why I thought Duck was gonna say I was being picky because I am, and this is like what works about me and Duck like collaborating together is because like Duck lets me know when it's time to move on, and I'll kind of like hold my ground. I'm like, we can make it 10% better, and he's like 7% is good, you know. But like
Right,
we'd have moments where it's like, if we just went back and got this one thing here, it would tie these two things together. So we did do a lot of that, and those also count for some of those days where it's like we show up for an hour, get something that patched something up.
Right.
Yeah, we were talking about this the other day, and I think it's why me and Clay work so good with joystick too. I mean, him because I'm very much like, it's good enough. Let's go. That's good enough.
Just go.
And
Just
he's
go.
like the complete opposite. So we're kind of like balance each other out. You know, it's a very
tightens
good
yours
team.
up a little more, loosens yours up a little more.
Yeah. But that's also what makes the movie what it is, right? Because like, again, without the only thing I guess plot wise that I might give away, just because it is a funny example, and I do like to shed some light on it. It's something that Clay said where he's like, when he was talking about me and Duck working together, he's like, all right, Duck's got this brain. He says, all right, the main character has diarrhea. And Jeff's brain says, okay, why? And so that's how a lot of stuff worked, where it's like the movie's got this really like great comedic spin on it, which comes from Duck, and then me trying to like form that into like, you know, all right, how do these things work together?
Right, yeah.
How does diarrhea fit into the story?
Good
Right?
vision.
Yeah,
I have to
yeah.
make this a visual
And that's-
joke.
But it wouldn't be nearly as funny without it. Like that was
Right.
one of the first things that got worked in, and it's like it is a big plot point that a character has diarrhea. And I think people should know that going into the movie.
I like that. Yes.
But it's also like very story driven. The reason why he
Of course. Yes. Of
But
course.
also,
He has
shit's
diarrhea.
funny.
Yeah.
Poop is
Poop
funny.
fucking funny, and people shitting themselves with diarrhea is hilarious.
Did you find that there was a lot that you had to cut out for continuity, or like was there anything that you wanted to leave in that you had to lose?
Yeah.
I mean, it would.
I'm sure that happens with
Yeah,
every
director's
movie.
cuts though.
I know that that's with every movie, but you know, was there something that you're just like, oh man, that was like perfect. Took us so much time, and you still had to get rid of it anyway.
Yeah.
For me, yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it will be seen.
Yeah.
You know, there will be like a Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I was
We're-
going to
we've-
ask. This is going to come out physical copy.
Oh,
or,
yeah. Duck and I are
it'll be
both-
be available to buy somewhere.
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay.
It's pretty important to both of us that it comes out on physical
Physical.
media.
Yeah.
We're both really big supporters of physical media. We both have massive DVD collections.
Yeah.
And Amityville, people that are fans of it,
They're gonna wanna
are-
fucking hold it.
they're big fans, and they want to collect like everything. in
Right.
Amityville,
Yeah.
So
And that is something that's exciting about like having a physical copy is like we do have a ton of deleted scenes.
That's the thing. Yeah. Because
Yeah.
you don't get any of that shit.
Yeah.
You know.
And they're
Yeah.
and the thing like they're all good scenes. It's just
Oh,
like
yeah.
we did get to the point in like the movie was well over 2 hours. And it was hard to kind of like get to the point where like, do we want to ask people to click on a movie that's over 2 hours? Because like even movies that I like am dying to see,
Yeah.
I'll see that they're over a certain hour mark, and I'm like, it's got to be a specific night for me to watch that.
Yeah.
Or a
And
week that you're going to cut it up into and watch a little bit of that.
Yeah.
And so
I don't even like doing that.
And so, but then also we just had some real serious conversations about like what's moving the plot forward, what's not, and what can we cut, because I'm a pretty big proponent of that. Just like if it is in the movie, but we're getting the same information in another scene. Like we had one really big scene that we cut where it was like it gave a lot of information in a pretty straightforward way, and the scene was good and engaging. But you get that information again later, spaced out, so you're kind of making the audience wait a little bit.
Yeah,
and
right.
We found that like
put it together themselves a little more.
Yeah, and so we're like, that makes us feel more clever.
Yeah.
You know.
Although that shit always used to be so funny in the old '80s horror shit movies, where it's like there's a 2-minute monologue of just being like, "Oh, you mean Liu Kang, the guy that runs the Chinese mafia that lives down the street and will totally kill you? Yeah, that guy. All right, let's just go from there. Yes, that's all the backstory. Yeah, you're good.
I do like movies like that.
I love that shit. Like that's most of John Carpenter fucking shit is like absolute insanity. 2 minutes of what he
catching you
is
up,
telling you is going on. Yeah, because
yeah.
you just started off. Yeah.
No, absolutely.
I was talking about. I was recording an episode of my podcast last night, and we were talking about John Carpenter. And I don't know why I'm bringing this up. It's funny to me. I guess like he was doing like a Reddit Q&A thing or whatever it's called, and somebody was like asking him like all these questions about the thing, and they were like, so oh shit, I'm so sorry. You're good. And they were like, so what's the motive of the alien, or what's it do, and like this, and he's like, well, if you watch it really closely and you send me a check. That's so awesome.
I like that shit. Yep, I like that.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Is this your first horror comedy? First comedy?
First horror comedy, yes.
Okay.
Not first comedy, but it's funny because like and this is another thing I just loved working about Duck is he just like forced me to stop taking myself so seriously a little bit, because I really love like dramas and straightforward horrors and everything, but this movie was so like there's no more enjoyable way to work in this entire world than to be working on a movie with your friends and somebody says the most batshit hilarious thing on camera, and you all just like have to turn away and try and hold it together to make it through to cut.
Scene.
Yeah. And then everyone laughs and you talk and like and just it becomes
magic, man.
It is magic, and
it's
it's
magic.
like it created so many like wonderful memories, and like I just remember laughing so much on this set, man. Like it's making a movie with like not very many people and no money, so it gets stressful, but then you just like the laughter cuts through everything.
You really
else.
bond through the shit,
Yeah, man. It's such a fun way to work, and like before like knowing that I wanted to make movies for a living, I only liked comedies growing up, because I think I saw Saving Private Ryan when I was like way too young, and it just depressed me, and I was like,
I thought you were going to say that's a comedy.
No.
It is hilarious.
I saw
that's not funny, man.
Kickstarted everything.
I saw The Grudge,
the part where Matt
Jaws,
Damon's crying,
and Saving Private Ryan way too young, and it like traumatized me. It was like I only want to laugh when I'm watching movies, and so that's like kind of what kickstarted me. As I started collecting movies that just like comedy, all those early 2000s sex comedies.
Yes, of course.
American Pie, Waiting.
I also love all of those movies.
Yes, absolutely. It was an era, time and a space, right?
Yeah.
But like, and then getting older, kind of gravitated away from that. And then the last two movies I've made have been comedies, which like Amityvillenado is a horror comedy. We do have a lot of horror elements, but there's so like you're gonna laugh your way through the whole movie.
Yeah.
Even the moments that are like taken super seriously and like it is scary for the characters, the circumstances are also funny, but it's so real to them,
Right.
Yeah. So
yeah, I'm excited about that.
But
shit, man.
the late game is hilarious.
Thank you, man. Yeah,
the late game.
Okay.
This is the other movie.
Yeah, that's the sports
you.
comedy
That's-
written
okay.
directed by my buddy Jeff Tyner, produced by Jeffrey M. Zucker. So we
There we
premiered
go.
that last year, and
Nice.
it's a riot. Yeah, it's very much in the vein of those early 2000s comedies. It feels the way they pitched it to me before I signed on to it was Clerks on Ice, and it really feels
Okay.
like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so just a hangout movie, bunch of guys hanging out playing beer league hockey.
I like that.
Are you from New
It's
Jersey?
awesome.
No, I was born in London, Ontario, Canada, And then throughout my life, I slowly moved further and further south, and then ended up in Huntsville, Alabama.
Okay.
Which is oddly enough and lucky for my family, the hockey capital of the South, or at least was when we lived there.
I never heard of that.
Yeah.
That's
No,
good.
man, and
All
like
right.
there was like a hockey program that started there in like the late 90s, early 2000s. That was started by all these guys who moved down from London, Ontario. Yeah, so it was it was
What?
weird. We met all these guys who were just like transplants, right? So
That's
yeah.
hilarious.
What's hockey?
Watch the late game.
Things to
Watch
be.
the late game and find out.
Dude, that was killer. Oh man.
No. So how did you land in Louisiana?
I met my wife.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
you meet a New
There you
Orleans
go.
girl and you stay in New Orleans.
That's
Yeah.
true.
I met her at an Elton John concert, and you just
Oh, God.
you fall in love at an Elton John concert.
Yeah.
As
Ne-
you do. That's why I can't go to one with TJ.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Never go with me.
Yeah.
We're just barely keeping ourselves from making out right
It's
now.
very, very
The
close.
sexual
This
tension
music
is
is so
awesome.
romantic.
I noticed it was back. I was thinking earlier about the DVD thing. I always liked owning like local shit like that because it felt like a movie that I
yeah.
probably shouldn't have. Nobody else
Cool.
had this
Yeah,
shit. You know,
yeah.
like all the old, like the trauma shit, all the terror optic shit around that shit. It was like I love watching this full length movie, but it feels like this isn't. I don't know. This is just for me. You know?
Yeah,
like,
no,
you
that's
got
cool.
who the fuck has
paraphernalia
this?
or
Yeah.
something like that. Something you
Right?
get to
Yeah,
hide.
exactly, exactly that though. Yeah.
No, but that's the cool thing about physical media is you can pass it off to people, right?
Right,
And
yeah.
just, hey, check this out, man. And, like they get to hold it, check out the box, read the back, see the
Right.
artwork, and like it's all,
yes.
you know.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I recently went back and rewatched Cockface Killer.
Nice.
The first one.
Yes.
They have come so far. That first
Dude, that
movie
first
is
one.
rough.
Yes, it is.
I went.
It's
Yes,
very
it is.
good.
I
It
went
is.
to like the
Very
opening
fast.
of the second one in like 1999 or 2000 or whenever it came out.
Yeah.
I saw it was like grotesque pallbearers, and you saw a
sounds
part of the movie,
And
and then they played some Cockface Killer songs.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was,
Yeah.
like I had no idea about it. I didn't know Bill at all or anything like that at the time. I was just into punk music and went to a show.
Yeah, right
And
on.
but I still don't 100% get the Cockface Killer stuff. If I'm
The
honest.
third
horror.
one is so fucking
It's fucking good.
Is it?
It's
Yeah.
so
Yeah, it is.
damn good. It's
very good.
way better than
Very
it has
good.
any right to be. It's
Right.
good.
I think
Yeah, that
good.
that is a good pitch for me. Like
It's
a movie called The
objectively
Cockface
good.
Killer that's better than it has any right to be.
Yes.
I'll watch that.
I will,
I'll watch
yeah.
that.
he
It
says
is
there's
worth
a
it.
he
It's
said
worth
there's a script for the fourth one, didn't
Yeah.
he?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yes.
I
Yes, he did.
knew they were wanting to make it, and then
Yeah.
COVID hit.
Yeah.
Wow,
It sounds like they're going. Yeah. It sounds like they got the works. It's in the works.
Wow.
So Jeff, you're in a band too?
Yeah, I play in Daybreak, so
Okay.
we're we're a local band.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Jib Haddon, who is one of the two leads in the movie, he's our lead singer, lead songwriter.
Nice.
Yeah, so he moved out here from California like 3 years ago, and I was good friends with both of his brothers. Played in a band with his brother Ricky, and then when he moved out here, we just became fast friends. Picked up some instruments together, and just kind of started
Yeah.
playing. And yeah.
What type of music is Daybreak?
It's folk punk or just a punk band. Jib's stylings are like when he plays solo, he plays on an acoustic guitar, and we've kind of built up a punk act around him. Yeah,
Nice.
so we're
Yeah, okay.
we're recording the album right now. The first single came out in like October of 2024. Yeah, and that song, it's called Die Mad, and it's a lot more straightforward punk song.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did you do any music for the movie as
I was
well?
about to ask. Did you guys get any of your stuff on there?
I'm
did-
assuming
there's-
Joystick
Song,
put
of
on
course.
there. I'm
Yeah,
assuming-
there's-
I'm
there's-
assuming for sure.
Right.
There's 2 joystick songs in the movie, 3 joystick songs in the movie, and
Any
then
of it written specifically for the movie?
Well, he scored the movie.
I scored the movie.
Yeah. Nice. Hell yeah.
And then so we've got a killer soundtrack, just a bunch of like awesome local bands, and then our entire score is an original score for the movie, which
Right.
like we tried originally to like license some kind of dark ambient music and stuff, and like kind of Frankenstein together a score. Yeah, a little bit of this.
I think there's a drummer now.
Yeah. Oh shit! Yeah, somebody. That's why they took a break. Joe Bob or
Let the fucking drummer in.
help him load in. Yeah. But yeah, trying to Frankenstein together a score wasn't really working, and so like ended up recording.
Yeah,
music
that's
for
cool
it.
as hell.
Yeah, it was daunting because I was like, I've never tried to do that, and something I in no way, shape, or form thought I could do, and I think turned out good.
With all the ambient stuff, because that was something I had wanted to go to school for a long time in the back.
Oh,
It was,
really?
soundtracking stuff
Yeah,
and musical
cool.
engineering and like making feelings out of music, like all the tense shit, where it's like you don't do much, but like here's 2 strings.
Yeah, yeah.
Are you with a keyboard in front of the movie whenever you're filling in the spaces between the
Nice.
songs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so and the score itself is not actually, it's not ambient at all. There's a lot of like orchestral
Moving.
stuff. Yeah. And so those were awesome days too, because like I, would sit down and like kind of lay something out, and Duck would come over after work and like sit down and start playing some synth stuff, right? So like Clay would come over and lay down some bass and everything. So it was still the same team. Like I'd be like, all right guys, what do you think of this? And they'd be like, cool, what if we did a little bit of this, add some bells and
All of a sudden
whatnot,
you got a
and like
fucking moving ass song.
oh dude, and like
Oh, that's cool. Do you have a theme song for Amityvillenado?
Yeah, there's a so every character has a theme. Like it's very traditional style of like scoring. So like we've got the 2 main characters have a theme.
Right.
The Amityvillenado, the tornado itself has a theme. The weather woman has a theme. The cop has a theme. And then
That's you guys, the cops?
no.
Oh,
we
interesting.
we are in the movie to a degree that I will not specify.
Right.
But a lot of our stuff is gonna be in the deleted scenes.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And there will be mustaches.
We do have mustaches.
Okay.
I'm not a good actor, so I'm glad.
You're great.
I'm glad.
Our scenes.
I'd
I'm a
rather be
shitty
behind the
actor
camera.
too.
All of our
I suck
mustaches.
so bad.
I will agree. I would rather be behind the camera, but our scenes are very funny.
Yes.
And they were hard to lose, but they were like the most not like it was one of those things where you sit down, you just ask yourself the question: could you pull these out, and would it affect the movie at all?
Right. Yeah.
It wouldn't.
No.
They gotta go.
Well, like you said,
But
they
they
could
were
be
so,
deleted.
They
No,
were so
they're a
funny.
fucking thing.
Yeah, and we're gonna do something with them.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah.
We also, besides having like a lot of local bands music in the movie, we actually just have like local bands like acting.
Nice.
Like-
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Okay.
We got Shitted, Brat, Rich Octopus.
Holy shit.
Who
Yeah.
else?
Pears.
No, I meant Pears. Yeah.
Nice.
That's very
Joystick.
good.
Bad
Oh,
Operation.
Those guys. Nice.
Yeah.
BWTF.
Nice.
Yeah, like members from all these different
Yeah,
bands in them too. Yeah.
Are Pears still playing?
I don't know. I'm not for
I don't
sure.
know.
Just curious.
Yeah, I haven't seen them live in a while.
No.
Yeah.
Or any posts about them playing live in a while, but I'm sure they'll get up and going again soon.
How's Joystick doing?
Good.
Really?
Good. Yeah.
Are you guys recording right now? Is that what's happening? Or
Writing.
We're writing.
Oh, writing.
Yeah,
There we go.
But mostly all the stuff's already up here.
Yeah. It's like just get it out here
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like how like we work like so like I'll be like, yeah, okay, here's what we got, Clay, and they'll be like, okay, let's work on this. a little.
Yeah. It's like I like that, but like, hold on.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
drop that out of there.
Yeah,
Look
yeah,
at this
yeah,
nice
yeah.
straight line
Yeah,
now.
yeah. It doesn't sound like that.
No,
Yeah.
God.
I really do hope people can hear this because it
It's
is
very loud now.
overwhelming.
It might be.
Well,
You're gonna be surprised how low.
I'm going to
it
be
is.
able to pull a lot of it out, but
and
like, yeah.
yeah, no, I'm not. I've learned to accept it and embrace it.
Yeah.
but it is loud.
It's
It
insane.
is very loud.
It's
Yeah.
insane. We need more like on that wall.
I don't know
More
if that
things
would
on
help.
that wall.
I don't think that would help at this
Just
point.
no Tuesdays. No more
Yeah.
Tuesdays.
Yeah.
So at this point, you're premiering the movie on the 12th, but
Where is it at?
The 13th.
13th.
13th,
That's
okay.
Sunday, right?
Theater Monday.
Monday. The 13th.
Monday, yeah.
can you buy tickets for this?
You could if you did it a month ago.
Okay,
Nice.
it's
It is
sold
sold
out.
out.
real quick.
Yeah,
Dude, that's
Which-
amazing.
fantastic.
Hell yeah.
dude.
Quickly?
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Nice.
How many days was it, Duck?
8 days? 7
Sold
days?
it. Sold out in 7 days.
Fuck. Yeah, that's nice.
And yeah, that was a cool feeling. Like just
Right.
going, because you could go to the Broad Theater website or whatever and try to purchase a ticket and be like, this
Yeah.
this showing
Sorry,
is sold
bitch.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and
Is it only one screening? Are you going to double up or anything? Because of the high demand.
Yeah, they extended an offer to us to do like an overflow screening
Right.
in their what's it called? What's that place called, Duck?
The Broadside.
The Broadside.
Okay.
And we talked about it, but like it's if you're not all in the same room together, it kind of like loses a little. Like it's not as special for those people where it's like, cool, you're in an overflow
Right,
screening.
yeah.
It's like
It's the
Right.
premiere.
Yeah.
So we want it to be like an event.
Yeah,
Yes.
no, I meant
Yeah.
like, would you do another night? You know,
I don't know.
What it kind of depends. I don't know. We've got plans
trying-
for film festivals
Yeah.
and stuff, so it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
and we want to get distribution, and I think the movie has a fighting chance at getting into some of these,
Absolutely.
decent
Yeah,
horror
okay.
festivals,
Hell
and so
yeah.
like, really just don't want to do anything to shoot ourselves in the
yeah,
foot.
no,
So
I definitely understand that.
yeah. So
That's a actual thing that's still bonkers about this movie is like, if you tell someone the name of the movie and you tell them what it's about, it is way better. It's kind of like Cockface Killer 3. It is way better than it should be. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So
I like
it's
that.
it's funny. We were screening it the other day, doing the test screening, and like this, I guess we were getting close to the end of the time that we had to like test scenes.
Yeah.
And this lady walked in with a bucket of popcorn as we're like on the very last scene of the movie, which is like, it's a nice scene.
Right.
It's like it's not, it's yeah. I won't say anything else about it, but it's a nice.
the end scene. It's wrapping shit
Yeah,
up.
it's wrapping stuff up, and she sits down. She starts watching it with us, and afterwards, Duck and I are like going to the bathroom, and he's like, "Man, if you just came in and saw that last thing, you'd have no idea this is about a diarrhea tornado." It's so true, which I thought was hilarious. But yeah, no, we think we got a good little movie, and we want to take it as far as it'll go. So
Hell yeah.
if we, we'll hear back from our first potential festival in early February. And that's Panic Fest, which Duck's got a buddy who kind of helps run that. So like, fingers crossed we get in
Yeah,
there. That'd
hell
be
yeah.
a pretty cool spot to premiere for people who we don't know.
Right,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm sure there's a lot of people who are like our friends who are dragging their friends to come see the movie who we hope enjoy it.
Yeah.
But that's still like our community, and that's what that
Right.
that night on the 13th it's for. It's
Right,
for everyone
yeah.
who helped us make the movie, because
Yeah.
so many people did favors for us and like helped us get the thing made for as cheap as we were able to make it.
Right.
So, but being able to finally show it to people who have no idea what the movie is about, have never heard of the movie, and they're just like, all right, this is on the lineup. Like, that's something that we keep talking about. We're like, can't wait to like get in a car and drive to this festival and go screen it for total
Yeah.
strangers.
Plus, the name is very catchy. So yeah, I
The
can see
name
it
is
if I
so
could be
catchy.
like,
The name is so
well, I
catchy.
have to see at least 5 minutes of this fucking thing.
Yeah,
I gotta see
yeah.
the first 5 minutes, see what the fuck
Absolutely,
this is
yes.
about. Yeah.
Do you have a poster? I
Oh,
know
we
you. I
do.
know you had one of your dreams, or he was making one of your dreams.
A poster? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a poster. Our poster is sick, dude.
Oh, cool.
Kevin James is the name of the guy who did our poster for us. He's a digital artist. I found him on
Adam
Reddit.
Sandler's friend.
Yes, yeah.
he did stuff for Disney, right? Like
He did
That's
stuff
fucking
for
awesome. Holy
Disney,
shit.
Star Wars. He's done stuff for like
Jesus.
Activision.
Yeah, he's
good. God damn.
Yeah, dude, our poster is awesome.
Yeah. I
Our
think I've
poster's
seen it.
sweet.
Very
yeah.
good.
It's on the, like, when you were trying to buy links to the tickets. It was
Yes.
that. Yes, that I've seen it. Yeah,
Yeah.
fucking primo
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, we've done a lot of work to
to make it legit up. Yeah.
Yeah, man, like
hell yeah.
it
No, of
is
course.
a ridiculous, fun, terrifyingly comedic movie.
That's
you
the
know?
best part of it,
Yeah.
though, is that for it to be so loose, but it was like, no, man, we didn't skimp. Man,
Yeah.
like, we fucking did what we could do to
Yeah.
make this the best looking shit because we understand what is happening here.
Yeah.
Well,
like,
Jeff told me when we were very early shooting this, he was like, we don't have that much money.
right.
But what we do have is time.
Right.
So that we have time.
We can
So
make
let's-
things.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's
Yes.
make it good.
Yeah.
You should definitely tag the maker of those leaf blowers in your advertising.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my
Special
God.
thanks.
Dude, if they could.
Special thanks to Black and Decker.
We should have.
They
given
might
a
be
special
bad
thanks.
if they saw the movie.
I'm not even. Maybe they would
Product
be
not used as intended.
no shit.
They
Yeah.
sue us.
not authorized the use of our products in this movie.
Yes.
I don't appreciate that.
Any leaf blower, real or fictional.
Yeah.
Well, We're getting close to the end.
Yeah, man.
Did you guys want to? Did you want to plug anything before we wrap it up, or anything else?
Just
We have
come out.
Instagram.
There we go.
Instagram.com/Amityvillenado.
Very
Yes.
cool.
That's how you
Yes.
spell it.
Yes.
Yep. Go follow us on Instagram, and appreciate
Yeah.
you guys having us on.
Oh,
definitely.
guys, thanks so
for
much.
coming out.
Whenever you see it, guys, go see Amityvillenado and Duck's band Joystick and Daybreak, Jeff's band, both very cool guys. Thank you so much for watching again, and that's it.
Fucking mama name.
Hell yeah, boy.
Turn my headphones up, like way up. So fucking check.
Could you turn mine up as well?
Yeah, right.
Anything that I can do to overpower what's going on over here.
Yeah, that's what we need.